Okay, good morning, Monday morning, you guys. So hopefully you had a good weekend. So today we're going to talk about polynomials a little bit more. So polynomials, whole number exponents, right? And today what we want to do is we want to add them and subtract and multiply polynomials. Okay, we did this last year, so you should be a little bit familiar with what we're going to do. We know when we add or subtract, we have to add only what we call like terms. Like terms. And the analogy I gave last year was if you had a bag full of x squareds and x cubes, and I said, how many do you have? Well, you've got 3x cubes and 2x squared. So when we add them, we're just saying how many do we have. So the first example, again, like terms. Well, I've got a 3x cubed, and I have a negative 3x cubed. So if I, that minus that, they kind of cancel each other out. That makes 0 or no x cubes. I've got x squared, so if I go a negative 5x squared and a negative 2x squared, I get a negative 7x squared. Remember, let's keep them in order, biggest to smallest. I've got a 5x plus a 4x makes a positive 9x, and a negative 6 plus 3 makes a negative 3. And that's my answer. I cannot combine these terms because they're not the same. Okay, number 2. Just the same kind of stuff, a little bit bigger, but we just have to be careful what's the same. So an x squared y is not the same thing as an xy squared. So I get an x squared y here, another x squared y here. So if I add these two, I get a 9 x squared y's. And that's what I have. I have 5 of these and 4 of these. So what do I have? I get 9 x squared y's. When I combine them, I have a 3xy with a positive. Oh, there we go. Back up, Mr. Davies. Hold on, let's do these first. Let's do, almost missed one. Let's do this one with this one, okay? So if I put a negative 3xy with a positive xy, I'd have a positive 2xy squared. And then finally, here we go, 3xy minus 2xy makes a positive 1xy. And that's it. Can't combine any more of them. We're done. Okay, shift it up to number 3. So number 3, when I subtract, I'm taking this polynomial and subtracting this entire polynomial because of the parentheses. So I'm subtracting the whole thing. So I have to be careful because I would be subtracting a negative. That'd be like plus. I'd be subtracting a 5. I'd be subtracting a negative. So I tend to make mistakes. So to make sure I don't make a dumb mistake, because I'm famous for that, I'm going to bring the negative through to all of the terms, and then I'll be able to combine like terms. I just don't want to mess up the negative. So I bring through, because the negative goes to the entire thing, like I subtract. The first thing I'll do is bring it through. I'll get a negative 4x cubed, and then a negative with a negative makes a positive 5x squared. And the negative with the 5x makes a negative 5x, and the negative 11 makes a positive 11. I do this first. It takes a little bit of extra time, but when I do it, I make less mistakes. So, okay, let's take our first polynomial here and rewrite it. 5x cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 1. And then it's just like what we did above. Well, above. So let's combine like terms. Okay, I've got a 5x cubed with a negative 4x cubed. These are the same. I get a positive 1x cubed. I've got a negative 4x squared with a positive 5x squared. Makes a positive 1x squared. You don't need the ones, but they're there. 3x and a negative 5x makes a negative 2x. A negative 1 and a positive 10 makes a, or positive 11 makes a positive 10. And that is my answer. Okay, not too hard. This is pretty easy. Okay, example 4. Let's put something into practice. So, if I want the perimeter of this whole thing, I'm missing some sides. I need to know this length and this length. Well, that's not too bad. Now watch. So from here to here is 2x. from here to here is a 2x plus 1. So the entire length of this side of this block is a 4x plus 1. Okay? And you know this length. So from here to here is a x plus 2, and from here to here is a x plus 3. So the entire length of the base of this block is a 2x plus 5. Okay, so let's start adding around. So I think the easiest thing to do is just add the x's first. So p for perimeter is equal to, okay, and I'll go slowly. I'll start here. 1x, 2 more makes 3x, 4, 5, 6 x's, 6, 7, 8 x's, 9, 10, 11, 12 x's. So I add it all the way around, and I get 12x. Added x plus 2x plus x plus 2x plus 2x plus 2x plus 4x. I'll add the constants. I'll get 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 1 makes 6 plus 5 makes 11 plus 1 makes 12. Okay, that's my perimeter. So the trick was just figuring out how the length and the width of the block. Okay, and I just did that by adding the pieces. Okay, turn the page. Okay. Now, all right, so last year we talked about FOIL or multiplying, and this year they're just much bigger problems. So in example 5, we've got 3 things to multiply. So what I'm going to do, and I think you'll see why when I'm done, I'm first going to multiply these 2. I'm going to multiply these 2, and I'll leave my x plus 2 for the second step. Okay? So let's multiply these 2. Let's leave the x plus 2 for the second step. So x times 2x is a 2x squared. X times 5 is a positive 5x. Negative 4 times 2x is a negative 8x. And negative 4 times 5 is a negative 20. Okay? We can combine the two middle terms because they are the same. So I'll have a 2x squared minus a 3x minus a 20. Now we're not done. We just have a bigger multiplication problem. So we'll take the x and we'll multiply it times both of these, and then we'll take the 2 and multiply it to all 3 of these. So we'll go x times 2x squared, x times 3x, and x times 20. We'll do that first. So x times 2x squared. We got x and 2 more x's. So we're going to have a 2x cubed, x squared, and x to the 1. We'll get an x times a negative 3x is a negative 3x squared. We'll get an x times a negative 20 is a negative 20x. Now, I'll come through and I'll multiply 2 times 2x squared, 2 times negative 3, and 2 times negative 20. So, 2 times 2x squared is a 4x squared, but I'm going to put it here because eventually I need to combine terms, so why not line them up with the one they belong to? I'll also multiply 2 times 3x, which gives me a negative 6x, and I'll multiply 2 times negative 20, which is a negative 40. So then, combine terms. 2x cubed plus 1x squared minus 26x minus 40. And that is my answer. Okay? All right, example 6 is what we just kind of did, isn't it? Same kind of thing. So that one's not going to be too hard because we just did, just like this part of this problem is going to be example 6. So let's do it again. I'll take the 3x times 5x squared times the negative 4x and times 2. I'll do that first. I'll get a 15x cubed, because x squared times x, times a negative 12x squared plus a 6x. I'll multiply my 2 to all 3 of these terms. 2 times 5x squared is a positive 10x squared, and I'll put it right there because I like to line them up because I'm going to eventually add them. 2 times a negative 4x makes a negative 8x. I'll put it right there. Line them up. And then 2 times 2 is 4, and I'll put the 4 here. So when I add straight down, everything's lined up. Okay, you ready? 15x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4. That is my answer. It's a big answer. It is. Okay, example 7. Oh, this is a biggie because we got to multiply 2x squared times all three of those. Then 4x times all three of these. Then 3 times all three of these. So what we're going to get is really nine different terms. We've got to add them all up. So, deep breath. Let's start. Okay, 2x squared times x squared, 2x squared times 5x, and 2x times. Now, before we start, a little note: x squared times x squared is an x to the fourth when you're multiplying. Okay. So here we go. 2x squared times x squared is going to be a 2x to the fourth because I'm adding my exponents and multiplying. 2x squared times a 5x, a positive 10x cubed. 2x squared times a negative 2 is a negative 4x squared. All right, here we go. Let's take the 4x times x squared, 4x times 5x, and 4x times negative 2, okay? All right, here we go. So 4x times x squared makes a 4x cubed. 4x cubed, let's put that right there. 4x times 5x, 4x times 5x makes a 20x, a positive 20x squared, because x times x, we'll put it right there. And then finally 4x times a negative 2, that's just going to be a negative 8x. All right, deep breath, almost there. So now, let's take the 3 times x squared, 3 times 5x, and 3 times negative 2. Let's multiply that out. Okay, so here we go. 3 times x squared is a positive 3x squared. Let's put it right there. Line them up, right? 3x times 5x makes a positive 15x. Put it there with the other x. Line them up. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Okay, now, the reason I like to line them up is because the addition's easy. So I'll have a 2x to the fourth plus a 14x cubed. Oh, let's see. That's going to be 16, right? 17, 18, 19x squared. And plus a 7x minus 6. And that, believe it or not, is the answer. That big ugly thing is the answer. You cannot combine terms because they're all different. Okay, and then we'll talk more about this during Zoom. That's the lesson, and I'll put the homework up. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend.